You know, they say children don't come with instructions, and boy, is that true. What we as parents think is best for our kids' health and safety may be very different from what our doctor would advise. Dr. Carver Kermani is a neonatologist at Cardin Children's Medical Center, and he's here today to talk with us about what physicians wish parents knew. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's so interesting to hear because these are things that, you know, you're saying, we want you to know this. You don't have to come to our office. This is just a few of the things you need to know. First off, with immunizations. A lot of people talk about this. Why would you say it's important for parents to immunize?
I think if there has been any invention in the healthcare medicine field in the last 100 years, that is immunizations. It is very effective, very efficient to keep our children healthy. And the younger children are the ones whose immune systems are not as mature as the older children and you and I. And those are the children, those are the babies who really need to be protected against all these deadly but very preventable diseases. Okay,
so a lot of people worried about immunizations, but you say there's more of a worry if you don't get them.
That is correct. Luckily, a lot of these diseases you don't see in this country very much. But not too many years ago, some of these diseases against which we have vaccinations used to cause severe blood infections, pneumonias, even brain infections like meningitis, even in America. So we just don't see them anymore because the immunizations have been so effective.
All right, very good. Let's talk about sleep. A lot of people wonder, well, how should I lay my baby down? You know, should I use one of those wedges? Should I lay them on their back, on their tummy? What is the protocol these days?
American Academy of Pediatrics for a number of years now have had a very successful campaign called Back to Sleep, in which we tell the parents, new mothers, that whenever they lay their baby to go to sleep, the baby should always be on his or her back. And we have a little prop here just to let you know that always back to sleep.
This is the way you want.
This is the way we want.
I hear a lot of people say their babies like roll, you know, during the night.
The younger babies in the first few months of their lives
They're not going to, and that's what we're talking about.
That's the biggest worry. And what we are trying to prevent is sudden infant death syndrome. Few years, probably more than a few years ago, we used to think that even side sleep may be okay, but we know it is not. We know, I mean,
on the
back to sleep is very important.
That's what you want to know. This is interesting. I've never heard of breastfeeding jaundice. You want people to know what it is out there. What is it?
Jaundice is the yellow discoloration of the skin on the eyes. It's very common in newborn babies. It's the breakdown of our red blood cells, which normally happens in all of us, and then the liver clears it out. It usually peaks in about 3 to 5 days, and most babies are usually home by that time now, within 24, 48 hours, 3 days or so. We know that babies who breastfeed are more likely to get jaundice. The jaundice can be a little bit prolonged. And what I tell the mothers in that situation is that in the first few days, till the breastfeeding is well established, frequent breastfeeding 8 to 12 times a day till they go and see their pediatrician. And the other important thing is that their first appointment with their pediatrician or the family physician should be within 1 or 2 days after they go home, 1 to 3 days after they go home, so that the high jaundice or high bilirubins are not dangerous to the baby.
All right, good to know. Water. We know it's good for older children, adults too, but what about a newborn? You hear about some people maybe, you know, giving them a bottle with water.
Correct, especially in this hot weather like Phoenix, Arizona. But our recommendations, and AAP's recommendations, are that everything the newborn baby in the first few months needs is supplied either in the breast milk. We strongly recommend breastfeeding for the first few months. It has enough water, it has enough proteins, fats, vitamins, everything the baby needs.
All right, so you got to do that. They don't need just a plain bottle of water.
They do not need any water.
All right. Yeah. I noticed that you have a skateboard here. You have all the helmets, pads, everything like this. Do you really need all of this stuff? I mean, I know it's the helmet, but, you know, and why is it important?
I think this is an essential, integral part of just educating the children, the young children and the young teenagers, is when they go out riding bicycles or scooters or skateboarding, this is essential. This is not an option. And it's not only to prevent the injuries they can get when they fall, it's what if someone else causes the accident, like a car accident or something like that. We know that the helmets are very, very effective in preventing concussions, head injuries, which the children can have if they fall. The best ways to interact or keep them interested is to take your child when you buy their helmets.
Cool ones
so
now.
They have amazing
ones.
They have
dinosaur ones and everything else. They're really neat. Well, thanks so much for providing this information today.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. For more information, again, just go to the website totalkid.azcentral.com.